have properly educated, knowledgeable people in this environment, gradually we are chasing all of them away from the public sphere because the place has been taken over. You can be in this country, a tout will just become a governor. A man who has never worked in his life will suddenly show up in the House of Reps or the Senate to go and do what? To warm the bench. And before you know it, we will sit down here, we will be calling them distinguished senator. Somebody who does not even have a distinguished brain. So we need to reverse, that kind of situation whereby it's our 12th 11.
And good morning to everyone out there. Thank you all for starting your day with us. And we begin what's trending with people reacting to a familiar name in Nigeria's presidential races, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, saying he won't back down from the 2027 race. Now, this matters because it means he could be going head-to-head with fellow ADC candidate and former Labour Party candidate Peter Obi. In a statement put out on Tuesday by his media advisor Paul Ibe, Atiku also blamed President Tinubu for working to eliminate any opposition. He stated in part, "This administration has not only inflicted widespread hardship, but has pursued a calculated effort to eliminate political alternatives. The objective is clear: a creeping de facto one-party state. Let it be stated plainly. The ADC is on a national rescue mission. Former VP Atiku Abubakar, alongside others, is central to this effort. Any call, overt or covert, for Atiku to step aside is a gift to authoritarian ambition and a betrayal of the Nigerian people." He adds, "When the time comes, all qualified aspirants will present themselves freely. No one is stepping down. If anyone should step aside, it's President Tinubu, whose leadership has become a national liability." From 1993 to 2007, 2011 to 2015, 2019 and 2023, 2027 would make it the former vice president's 7th time going for the top job. And I'll take some reactions before coming to you, Rufai. The first person says, "Atiku, everyone can run freely, sounds good on paper, but in practice, ADC politics have always been about who controls the machinery. Free competition is meaningless if the party elite already decides the winner behind the scenes." Then Adele said, "Atiku would probably be 80 years old by 2027, so he obviously knows that he doesn't have the strength and ability to lead Nigeria. A good dancer must know when to leave the dance floor. Let's see how everything plays out." So we'll get to Jonathan in a moment, but let's talk about this statement from the former vice president, his media advisor. How should we be looking at this? I mean, is it time for him to leave the dance floor?
No, see, there are people, there are leaders that are older. Atiku has a right to run. He has a right to his ambition. People can say because of sentiment, so he's old and all of that. No, people have the right to run. But I think the point I want to happen is this. There's a gentleman's agreement, not written in black and white, that it's the turn of the South, which we think by default should be a 2-term, and afterward power goes back to the North. The times we have tried to break that agreement, there's a lot of fallback. A lot of people got irate and voted en masse for certain candidates because they felt it was the time of the South in the last election. This is what I'm going to say. Any attempt to sort of like tell Nigerians that, yes, people have a right to run and no, anybody, despite your region, to run, will infuriate a lot of Nigerians. And I'm beginning to hear some Nigerians say that any attempts to play this, they will not be happy about it. And we should be careful. I know these things I've said today will be taken out of context, will be controversial, it will trend. See, ideologically, I do not think your region should determine where the president will come from. I think it should be the best competent person to rule Nigeria or to lead Nigeria. I don't like to play this politics. But it is a sentiment that has now become obtainable. And when we deviate from that sentiment, people feel that some people are trying to feel they have more autonomy than some. And I think, let me set it down here, because this thing I'm saying today will open the floodgate for the debates for this electionary cycle that has started again. So let us all watch it. And with due respect, in the coming days, you're going to see reactions. And the reactions will be, you have no right to say that. It should be the turn of our region too. It is not only the South, and people are open to it. But I am just relaying some of the sentiments I've started hearing people say. That if it's an agreement where somebody from the South does 2 terms and afterwards keeps it to the power goes back to the North in 2031, and any attempt to break that in the middle will let people feel otherwise. And I think we should just put that in this conversation. So I'm ready for the backlash. I've said what I said.
He said what he said. And let's stay on politics for a quick moment, because meanwhile, we have former President Goodluck Jonathan also making it clear that he, however, is pretty optimistic about the state of the People's Democratic Party, with comments just yesterday that it's alive, it's strong, and resilient. Now, the former president said this while meeting with members of the PDP National Working Committee, and it was led by the national chairman, Dr. Kabiru Turaki, in his private office in Abuja. Now, the main purpose of this meeting you see here was twofold. One, to figure out how the party can reconcile after months of internal battles, and how to reposition themselves ahead of 2027. But according to Jonathan, it's possible. Turaki then spoke to the public, reaffirming Jonathan's commitment to the party. Let's watch.
As usual, for his support, for his guidance, for his advice, as always. And we have his assurance that he's still a card-carrying member of the People's Democratic Party. He's still active and will even be more active these days.
There you have it. And, you know, Dr. Abati, I'll come to you on this, because how much do you think Jonathan's involvement with the PDP at this point can really move the needle for them? Where does the party stand right now?
Okay, well, in terms of context, the National Working Committee, led by the chairman of the party, who was elected in the PDP convention in Ibadan in November 2025, went to give a report to President Jonathan and seek his guidance, which is a normal thing to do. And it was in that process that the president made the point that, look, he remains a member of the People's Democratic Party, the same party that made him deputy governor, vice president, and president. The same party that had been the only surviving political party since the return to civilian rule, democratic process in 1998 and the general election in 1999. And he said he was available to continue to provide the guidance. That was the major thing that he said. And then, of course, the members of the team, including the chairman and party elders like Professor Jerry Gana, who I think if anybody wants to write the history of the PDP as a political party, he's a man that they should go to, because he was the first major secretary of the party. He has all the records. It's a living library of PDP politics. And, they thanked President Jonathan for receiving them and all of that. I don't think any other meaning can be read into it. However, to rebuild the party, to renew the party, the chairman of the party himself made a point that, look, there are cases in court, and he has the expectation that if they are able to surmount the legal order, and that he, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, knows that those, challenges are surmountable, that the party will be ready to roll out. And to say that the PDP is alive and well, after all, the People's Democratic Party came second in the 2023 general elections with about 6.9 million votes. Seeing a security that should be protecting the Nigerian people, that kind of situation is not what the ideal of democracy projects. It is the hope that competent people will lead the country. So we should keep talking about meritocracy. Those who want to go into political office, they can go. But we, the people, must choose wisely. And we must be given the opportunity to choose wisely. And that's why voter education is important. Don't go and vote for touts and bus conductors to come and conduct the bus of Nigeria.
No, you will most likely, you see, with the kind of political structure,
Yes.
7 out of 10 times you most likely vote for a tout.
That's why we say vote wisely.
No, it's not by saying vote wisely.
Okay.
Because the political structure throws up violence. The political structure shows up dictators and throws up those that can spend money. So a tout, once he gets money, once he gets violence, so most likely, until something shifts down the line, you most likely vote for a tout. So don't be surprised.
Well, that's why we're talking about electoral reform